Royal Television. We inspire.
Leprosy, a disease with characteristic slow-progressing bacterial infection that affects the skin, peripheral nerves in the hand, feet, mucous membranes of the nose, throat, and eyes, is common in poverty-ravaged communities, but also affects people of all races all around the world.
Leprosy is an infectious disease that is spread through the air. The disease itself, it is not very, very infectious like that. It takes a long staying together in a home with somebody before one can develop leprosy.
Also known as Hansen's disease, leprosy causes destruction of the nerve endings, causing the affected areas to lose sensation. Occasionally, because of the loss of feeling characterized by white patches of the skin, the fingers and toes become mutilated and fall off, causing the deformities that are typically associated with the disease. In Nigeria, experts say at least 9 persons are being diagnosed with the disease daily, which amounts to about 3,000 Nigerians officially presenting new cases of leprosy every year. This development comes as successive Nigerian government continues to make promises to integrate leprosy control into the nation's healthcare services and to take care of lepers in identified colonies. However, over the years, nothing much has been done about the living condition of aged lepers in various leprosariums scattered across Nigeria. One of such leprosarium is the ECWA Hospital, surrounded by a cluster of poverty-ridden colonies of abandoned persons affected by leprosy, located at Oke-Igbala along Ilorin Omu-Aran Highway in Kwara State, established about 75 years ago.
ECWA Hospital Oke-Igbala was established by the missionaries, the Sudan Interior Mission, around 1942. With 46 patients. Initially, they stay at, they get a place between Omu-Aran and Ilofa. Because of the knowledge of Yoruba people not allowing leprosy patients to stay in the town, they drive them. It was then they later came to this place and they settled here. And when they settled here, they settled with only 23 patients. And since then, they were the one taking care of the leprosy patients right from the war go to early in the 70s when they finally leave. When they were leaving, they decided to hand over the whole thing to Aqua.
Although medical experts say the disease is not highly contagious, the disease, which takes its name from Latin word lepra, is curable with a treatment known as multi-drug therapy, MDT, upon early detection.
One of the commonest complaints is that there is a patch on the skin which is lighter than the normal skin color. So we just go further to test, check whether that patch is filling or not. So if it is not filling, we also check the nerves, and that helps us to diagnose a case of leprosy. There are few fresh cases still reporting presently, unlike in the past when we have clinic days where we have plenty of patients coming. So those fresh cases that are coming here, we manage them with MDT. MDT is the drug we use for leprosy cases here. So they are not admitted, first cases, without any complication. You just come here, we give you MDT, give you health education so that you know how to take care of yourself. Then you go home and come back every month to collect the MDT here. But people with complications, if you have developed ulcers or maybe you have claw digits, we will admit the patient, do some physiotherapy, and then health education and care for any wound the patient is suffering from.
There are a lot of success stories. Even within the staff, we have leprosy patients that you can't know because they present themselves in the hospital earlier. And once they present themselves earlier, they get the drugs and they were treated. So, and they get back to their various home. It is only late presentation that you can see with a lot of complication in the community.
Attending to the medical needs of inmates by officials at the ECWA Hospital over the years has not been an easy task, as lepers who reside in the 3 colonies surrounding the hospital continue to lament the sad story of how they wallow hopelessly in hunger, diseases and severe living conditions to anyone who cares to listen.
ECWA has a lot of things to do, so they cannot take care of them as the white men are doing. And when they were taking care of them, they take care of them, give them drugs. Spiritually, they take care of them, and physically, they take care of them. So whosoever is on the bed that time, the 3 square meal will be completed. So they need to feed them and give them drugs. And most of the drugs then are coming from overseas.
When I first got here, this place was a nice place, but over the years, things have gone from bad to worse. Each of the houses you are looking at now, in a rotten state, used to house at least 4 inmates each, all with the needed facilities for daily living of the lepers.
Presently, the people that reside here, when they come here, many of them will not even come. And the reason is that they cannot afford the bill that will be given to them, despite the fact that the hospital is giving 25% discount. It's not collecting money for admission, even for dressing, yet the money they pay for drugs they are collecting, not MDT now, drugs for ulcer care, for other problems they might come with. The patient find it very difficult to afford such bill, and therefore we have in the community today plenty of them that either have ulcers or are sick of one problem or the other, yet they will not come to the hospital because of financial constraints.
A lot of the lepers here resorted to begging for alms. Inmates here have been totally forgotten by even their friends and family. This is what necessitated why they need to beg for alms, at least to survive before they are dead.
Poverty is not an accident, but a way of life for these people. Some of the lepers have severely restricted mobility, hence they have to urinate on their body and pass feces mostly on their body. In this unbearable settlement, where penury is a basic part of life, the inmates cannot leave because they have nowhere else to go. Eking a living by inmates is almost an impossible one, as daily survival depends on how much these inmates can realize from street begging and handouts from kind-hearted individuals. Although a few of the inmates still engage in subsistence farming with their mutilated hands, starvation is evident here. In the past, leprosy control, treatment and well-being of persons affected by leprosy attracted so much attention from various governments and religious organizations of the world, but reverses the case in present day. While leprosy continues to wreak irreparable socio-economic havocs in the lives of the inmates in Okegbala community, the victims' harrowing existence is daily compounded by unhealthy conditions in the community. Apart from the growing cases of malnutrition resulting from persistent hunger and lack of balanced diet, the deplorable conditions in the community is exposing the famished inmates to terminal health challenges. Glaucoma is spreading among inmates in the colonies, leaving many of them with impaired vision. The appalling situation here is a story of disappointment and neglect, a discomforting picture of the appalling condition that can become the lot of any human being neglected by the society.
There are major challenges ranges from finance, from feeding, and medically they have issues. If any of them has ulcer on his or her leg and is a DM patient, it stays in the ward for so many months, and it's a challenge. Some of them are in their different house now. They don't have money to even come to the hospital, because if they come to the hospital, we ask them to pay a very meager amount of money, but they can't afford it. Some of them cannot feed. We are not talking of 3 square meals. We are only talking of maybe once or twice. You will see a lot of houses crack that even when you are inside, you can look from the crack to see what is happening outside. You see some houses with this very small window. We see some people, they can't even walk. These are challenges that the hospital alone cannot shoulder.
As its name connotes, Okegbala, translated in English as Mountain of Salvation, a place where persons infected with leprosy visits for effective therapeutic drugs, efficient surgical operations, and prayers to heal victims, is fast becoming a shadow of itself. Okegbala now fits a perfect description of forgotten evangelism, government and non-government insensitivity, and failure of humanity.
The hospital depends largely on internally generated revenue, even in payment of staff salary. Now to add the burden again of persons affected by leprosy who cannot pay the bill, it makes it a very difficult thing in the hospital, because the hospital receives a very small assistance from the state government, and others are just money generated from the hospital here in payment of salary, in general repairs and the rest. Now to talk of catering for persons affected by leprosy, that's a very big challenge for the hospital.
We want to use this period to appeal to government, both state, local government, to religious groups, individual, and women in Nigeria, to please, for God's sake, come to the aid of the leprosy patients in Okegbala. They are seriously suffering, and they need, your help. As you do that, we pray God will help you too.
We need help. We need money to buy our drugs. We are hungry and we need food.
We appeal to well-meaning Nigerians to help us here. Nothing is too small to give us. We need food, we need drugs, and financial assistance. We will also be happy if we receive help and some of our children in terms of scholarship. If not all the children here, at least picking 1 or 2 of the kids here up for education will make us happy.
That is exactly what we need. We are really suffering here. May we all not die of starvation and hunger.